Free agency kicks off this week, and the San Francisco 49ers are going to be making several moves to improve their roster. Right now, they released defensive tackle Maliek Collins, and it sounds like Joey Bosa is going to be on his way to the Bay. Let's get to it. Smash that like button right after this. What's good, 49er faithful? It's your boy, the one and only, the WayneBreezie, and we're here just to talk about some of the things that's going to be going down throughout the week. We know that the NFL free agency tampering window starts this upcoming Monday, and free agency begins this upcoming Wednesday in the month of March, and it's probably the best month of football for everybody that's just been waiting for football to kick off. So the new league year kicks off this upcoming Wednesday, and the San Francisco 49ers are currently doing what they need to find ways to improve their team, right? We've seen a lot of stuff go down with the San Francisco 49ers. They didn't make the playoffs. They went 6-11. They've got extensions that they got to get done. Brock Purdy's got to be priority number one. They got a slew of free agents themselves. But on today, the San Francisco 49ers, per Adam Schefter, per Mike Garafolo, has released defensive tackle Maliek Collins. That's right. Defensive tackle Maliek Collins has been released. And I know a lot of fans out there are probably scratching their heads, probably like, well, why is he released? He was pretty good defensive tackle. He was solid up the middle. Several things about him that I feel like is the reason for the relief. Mike Garafolo reported that the 49ers are going to be saving about $10 million in cap space. So that's going to come off the books. And the Niners, currently around at that $30 million mark, right? They're currently around that $30 million mark. So they're going to be saving some cap space right there. And then there's some other stuff. There's some other things when it comes to this particular play. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Mike Garafolo wrote. The 49ers are releasing veteran defensive tackle Maliek Collins. Source says Collins $10 million in 2025 comes off the Niners books as they reshuffle their defensive line. And I'll talk a little bit about the 49ers defensive line, who's currently here. But I did want to scroll up because David Lombardi also said release of Maliek Collins not surprising, which to most fans, I think it was surprising. Just from a depth standpoint. I think more from a depth standpoint, at least for me. It was surprising from a depth standpoint, but I like how David Lombardi went in and said he was a good pass rusher. He was number 7 pass rush win rate, but the 49ers were number 29 in run defense, and this is already indicating to me how the 49ers look to address their defensive line, Robert Saleh. Right now, like Robert Saleh's back, and this is how I feel like they're going to address their defensive line just moving forward, right? They've got to get better in stopping the run. They need to find run-stuffing defensive tackles. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Elliott is next. I mean, he couldn't really stay healthy. He is on the books for one more year. His contract isn't as big, I feel like, as Maliek Collins' contract was, so they might not save a lot of money if they released him. But the Niners do need to improve in the run defense, hence why I think they're going to go out and try to sign newly free agent Jonathan Allen, who will be a big help, not just in the pass rush, but in run stuffing, right? And then this is when the draft comes and they can go ahead and definitely address some of these run stuffing defensive tackles in the draft, whether it's big Alfred Collins from Texas or you get like a hybrid guy like a Darius Alexander from Toledo. Everybody fan favorite, the Walter Nolans, Omar Norman, lots of those guys. Big run stuffers, high on CJ West. So they're going to definitely address this, even if they did sign Jonathan Allen to a deal, to a 1 year, 2 year deal. I think that the 49ers will still look to address the defensive line in the draft. All right. So expect the Niners to get a little bit better in free agency. I feel like the free agent that they're going to be target, it could be DJ Jones. It could be bringing back a guy like DJ Jones. They'll probably kind of like use DJ Jones, Jonathan Allen, and just see, which one would be most beneficial. I will say at least DJ Jones has the rapport with Robert Saleh. That's his former player, so we'll see what happens. But be on the lookout for those two names. I think Jonathan Allen will probably be the number one target for the 49ers up front. I know he's an older player, but don't take that we need to get younger thing to just let it ride. I think they get younger in the draft, but they find the key veteran pieces that they need. You can't just have a young team. And if you're getting these older players, these older vets that still have some gas left in the tank and it can still get you some type of production, this would help the 49ers because they're not signing these older players to these long, extensive 3-year, 4-year, 5-year deals, right? They're looking to get those guys in the draft, and they're signing these older players to 1-year deals, 2-year deals, incentive-based deals. And speaking of older players, let's talk about also, before I get to that, I just want to put out there that there has Matt Mayoko reported that there are multiple reports saying that the 49ers released defensive tackle, and the move is not official yet. So the 49ers could be trying to trade him. They could be trying to trade him. They could be looking for some type of compensation. That is the John Lynch way. I do know John Lynch is going to, kind of move the thread, but I do believe if he's not traded, per Adam Schefter, per Mike Garafolo, if he's not traded, Maliek Collins will be released. He will become a free agent, and it will save the Niners $10 million off the salary cap, all right, off the salary cap. And I think that's just the Niners are looking to relieve some cap and get better on the defensive line and get better in a specific way. They got edge rushers that can rush. I do like pass rush from up the middle. But when you're getting gashed and moved out of these rush lanes and it's affecting your second-tier guys like your Fred Warners and your linebackers, that's a big problem for me. And I don't think Robert Saleh is going to go for any of that, just in my opinion. I don't think he goes for any of that type of stuff, all right? Just in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, that's kind of like where I am. All right, now let's talk about Joey Bosa, because Joey Bosa to the Bay may just be happening, all right? It may just be going down. I have a really good feeling about this. Now, look, I understand he's old. He's almost 30. I understand he's dealt with a lot of injuries. I understand that he hasn't played a lot of full football. But if the Niners are looking to do a deal with him, I don't think they're expecting him to be the Joey Bosa of 2017 or 20. I don't think they're expecting that particular, or 2016, that particular type of Joey Bosa, the defensive player of the year, Joey. I don't think they're expecting that. What they're looking for is a guy that could come out, that could compete, that can give him high production when his number is called upon. So my question to you is, will Joey Bosa be the next player in 49ers history to grace and wear the number 99? And before I talk a little bit about Joey Bosa, I know he's an edge guy. I do want to talk about that number 99, because when you go back to let's just talk about the Kyle Shanahan and the John Lynch tenure here. I mean, it was DeForest Buckner. They get to the Super Bowl, they lose, they trade Buckner, right? And ever since then, that may have been I think trading DeForest Buckner was worse than trading first-round draft picks and moving up to get Trey Lance. I do. And I'm not saying that because I wanted the Niners to draft Trey Lance. I'm saying look at the ripple effect that it's happening with the San Francisco 49ers defense. When this defense runs out of gas, it runs all the way out of gas. And you look at Nick Bosa, his rookie year, he was teeing off because they had to deal with Buckner and Armstead in the middle, those twin towers from Oregon. We drafted Javon Kinlaw. He's no longer on the roster, but he could potentially be back. He's a free agent. He's played with the Niners. He's played under Saleh. He's probably played his best under Saleh, both with the Niners and with the Jets. Go figure, right? And so that's a possibility. He can be returning. All right, just want to put that out there. But he wore number 99. Maliek Collins, who's set to be released, wore number 99. Got you some sacks, but wasn't really productive overall when it comes to stopping the run. I think Javon Kinlaw was better in stopping the run. He wasn't the big pass rushing defensive tackle, but he definitely, when healthy, helped plug up that middle. So with Joey Bosa out there pending, Tim Kawakami put out some stuff, and he's a great beat writer for the 49ers. And he writes really cool, interesting things. And he said, meanwhile, I've heard Joey Bosa and the 49ers are having good conversations, and this feels like he's headed toward a deal. Nothing is done, but the Bosa brothers want to be together and probably will get there this year, which likely means this will be a moderate plus incentive-based deal. So let's just talk about that because I've been adamant saying that if they do go after these veteran players, that I think that the 49ers should go after players and sign them to team-friendly deals. That's that moderate word, right? So something that's team-friendly but player-friendly as well, right? And it could be both. Team-friendly, probably a shorter-term deal, probably maybe guaranteed money, not long-term, not big money, right? As far as the annual per year. Then it's player friendly when you put incentives in there because now the player is like, all right, cool, I get it. I've been injured. I've been this. Number one, let me prove I can stay healthy. That's on the player. The player's going to do what they need to do. Number two, benchmarks. Those are on the players. If the player gets a certain amount of sacks, if the player gets a certain amount of passes deflected, if the player helps the team get to the place. And the Niners have been struggling in this particular situation and finding good depth. They tried with Chase Young. They signed Yetur Gross-Matos. I think they hit the nail on the head with Leonard Floyd last year, but because this was his first time playing in a 4-3 as a defensive end, putting his hand in the dirt, I mean, that took effect and toll on his body, even though he was the team leader in sacks. I don't see them moving on from him. I don't think he'll be a cap casualty. But now if you add a guy like Joey Bosa, and he can stay healthy, which is the big question mark. It's the caveat of everything. I don't think his production, unhealthy, he still got his team 5.5 sacks last year, unhealthy, and he was voted to the Pro Bowl. So I get the Pro Bowl situation, fans vote, cool, but he was still a dominant player out there enough. He played enough to be voted to the Pro Bowl. He got a chance to play with his brother be with his brother at the Pro Bowl. And so I'm expecting this to be a nice reunion in San Francisco. I know his mom would love this. I talked about this on a previous episode, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. If you didn't get a chance, I go a little bit more in depth on, why maybe the Niners should do it. But if this does happen, I think this benefits the Niners because they kind of they're saving some bread, right? They're saving some bread and they're looking at the reward more than the risk. I think that's what you want to call it, like the risk and reward. And they're saying, hey man, there's an opportunity that he'll go out and he may get injured, he may not finish the season, but if we can keep him in rotation, if we can keep him fresh, if we can keep him this. And there's three things that I like about it, right? The first thing I like, motivation, right? You're going to get motivation. You're going to get the big brother motivating the young brother motivating the big brother, just from a sibling standpoint. But think about the other guys in the room. You got the sack leader coming back and Leonard Floyd. Hopefully they don't release him because I don't believe that they should. They just release, especially if they're releasing Maliek Collins and saving $10 million. I don't see Leonard Floyd being a cap casualty. But now that's your sack leader. And now there's going to be like a 3-man rotation just from veteran depth. Plus, your Yetur Gross-Matos is still on the roster. He should be healthy. So now you got 2 left ends, 2 right ends. The second thing I like about that, other than motivation, is the simple fact that, Joey Bosa comes in and this can help him like he's going to be playing on grass. The Bosas hate playing on turf. Nick Bosa himself got injured on turf. Remember, we go to the Jets stadium. We go out there and he gets injured at MetLife, right? Out for the season, his second year in the NFL. Well, you know what predominantly the games that Joey Bosa plays on at SoFi? Turf. And maybe that's part of what's causing him to stay injured. Turf is just not good for the player's body. So this can be something that's going to, probably help stimulate. And I had one more, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. So I got to check my phone. And let's see. I said, and my stuff is all over the freaking place. So I do apologize from that. And I can't really find it because it's just all over the place. Oh, scheme. How can I not talk about scheme? Scheme is probably the major one. Now, listen, in Los Angeles or prior San Diego, because that was his first year there, he was a 3-4 outside linebacker. And we know outside linebackers are also known as defensive ends to playing on the scheme. The thing I like about Joey Bosa is I think he'll be a better edge setter, especially you setting the edge for the run game, right? And this is what I would like to see, Leonard Floyd on one side of the field, You can move You can move Nick Bosa to the inside, put Joey Bosa on the outside. Are you starting to kind of like picture like the unlimited ways you can utilize that 3-tier monster? You know what I'm saying? And then you can go with your big run stuffing guy up in the middle, just in case they try to still run. They try to run the ball. You can still have that big presence up there up front, depending on who they bring in free agency and who they draft. And so adding Joey Bosa doesn't limit the San Francisco 49ers to the multiple looks that Robert Saleh and Chris Kosaric can go out there with his defensive line. And this helps improve the secondary because now you have pass rushers, run-setting edgers, and run-stuffing guys on your front, and they don't necessarily have to sit there and leave the field. Now, like I said, they won't be on every single down, but on special downs when you get out there, man, this could be a fierce freaking looking defensive front. Again, start Leonard Floyd, start Nick Bosa, rotate in Joey. Then there's on them certain downs where you want to put Nick on the inside on the same side of his brother, and that means these offensive lines and schemes are going to have to figure out how to deal with not one but two Bosas at the same time, and then you put the speed guy out there. I feel like Leonard Floyd can really fulfill what we were trying to get out of D Ford in that role. Last year, he had to be the opposite end to what Nick Bosa was doing. But if you add another guy like a Joey Bosa, this could help benefit the 49ers defense in every single way. Again, pending that he stays healthy. And you got to say that about every player because Nick Bosa wasn't healthy last year. Leonard Floyd ended up getting dinged up toward the end of the year. It wasn't healthy. Excuse me. Football, it's just going to wear on bodies. A lot of people feel like Joey Bosa's injury prone. Some people could say the same thing for Nick Bosa. Suffered an ACL injury here, suffered injury last year, was dealing with his back last year. I remember that. In college, had the crazy injury in college. But, we kind of sort of overlook some of those things. I think as a 49er, when they come in here, the key would be to keeping these players play fresh. So there is a possibility. The signs are looking up that Joey Bosa is going to be coming to the Bay and teaming up with his brother and the 49ers defensive front, and it's going to be all smiles. And so I think that would be, for most fans, a breath of fresh air. I'm your boy, the WayneBreezie. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section for sure. Make sure you guys go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel, please. The first time watching, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. And shout out to you for even tuning in. Also, if you want to support the channel, man, all you got to do is click on the join button. Become a member of the Breezie Bunch crew. Take advantage of all the cool perks that we have going on. I'll see you guys on the live WayneBreezie show every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, we go live. Love y'all. Keep it faithful to the Bay, and thanks for watching.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.